So guys, as I told you, right, so whatever work we are doing within ServiceNow, first most important part with respect to our development is we have to create one update set. So what I'll do, I'll quickly go, I'll quickly go ahead and I'll try to create one update set. I'll click on new, right? So what I'll do, send demo, see, try to maintain that consistency. So demo day 2. So let me put demo day 3. So what I'm going to do in this particular update set, I can capture that. Okay. Um, table configure form I'm going to do in this particular update set. So this is like completely free. There is no this thing. Okay. So right now, what I am going to do as part of my update set, I'm just trying to put it. So whenever tomorrow I come back, right, I will be able to understand that what I have done as a part of this update set while movement, whether I need to move this update set or I don't need to move. So I'll just for documentation purpose, I'll just try to put that I have done all these things in this particular update set. I'll click on submit and make it current so that it gets updated. I'll have to just reload. So another important thing with respect to update set is, you can keep multiple update set in progress, but most of the time, as per standard, it says that, if you have finished working on one update set, you can close that. So what I'll do, I'll try to close this particular update set. So if you see this, yesterday I tried to update certain system properties, certain color, etc. Right? So everything got captured. So what I'll do, I'll make it. Earlier it was in progress. I'll make it to complete. Please note one important thing that unless and until you mark any update set as complete, you cannot move that update set to any other environment. You will not be able to pull that update set. Neither you'll get an option to move that update set via XML. Okay, so the moment I hit save, right now you can see that there are these links, related links like make this my current set, merge this with another one, scan update set. All of these are options are there, but the moment I'm marking it as complete and saving it, these options will change. So if you see now this option, there is something called export to XML. This is one way by which you can move your customization from lower environment to your another environments like testing environment, production environment. So what I can do, I can download this XML, okay, and I can directly go in any environment and export it, import it basically. I did export now. I can import it. That part we will cover up later. Okay. So all my customizations were captured here. So let's say there was something which I captured in my update set wrongly. Let's say, or I did certain work which got by mistake. I was not supposed to do that, but I have done that. Now what do? I have to revert back the changes. So there is something called backout button in the top, which will be visible only once you make your update set as complete. So the moment I will click backout, whatever changes I did, okay, wrongly, unknowingly, whatever, and which was captured as a part of this update set, everything will be reverted back. Okay. Everything will be reverted back, which means whatever the system was there before this update set, it will become as it is. Simple as that. Okay, so right now I have basically made one update set as complete and one update set as my in progress. This is my current update set because I want to capture the thing in this update set. So here, if you see, right, that export to XML option is not coming. Why? Because it is in progress and there is no backout button as well. So which means this is my current update set in which whatever changes I am going to do, whatever thing configuration I am going to do, everything is going to get captured in this particular update set. Okay. So let me close all this. Now, if I have to create tables within service, right? Table means I want to store some sort of a data within ServiceNow. ServiceNow itself have a couple of tables like we saw, right? So there are many tables within ServiceNow, and the moment you activate multiple plugins also, multiple other table keeps on increasing. But ServiceNow gives you flexibility because it is giving you it is now what platforms of platform, which means it is giving you a platform wherein you can build your own application also. Okay. So what I will do basically, I'll go ahead and I'll create tables within my service. So I'll have to just type tables, and under system definition, I can see something called tables. Okay, this under system definition, I should be able to see tables, and I will click new. The moment I click new, it will give me feature wherein I will be able to create a particular table, custom table. When we the tables which are given by ServiceNow itself, those are called out of the box table. But the table we as an end user, or we as a developer, sorry, as an end user, no, as a developer, we are creating within ServiceNow, those are called custom table within ServiceNow. Okay. So here we can see a couple of fields, right? If you see, right, there are multiple fields. Now I'll explain you. So label is the label. You can give whatever your table name should look like. Let's say when we saw incident, right? So at the top it was coming incident, right? Similarly, what type of that your table name should be there, you can mention that, right? So let's say I want to put something called ServiceNow training. Okay, so the moment I click this, see, I put in here, and automatically the name got appended here. Automatically ServiceNow took that name here itself, right? And one more important part, and one more interview question is there. How do you identify whether a particular table is out of the box table, or it is the table which was created by you? If any table which is created by a ServiceNow developer and not provided by ServiceNow directly, it will have something started with U underscore. Let me show you guys. If you see incident table will not have U. If you see, right, this, see, incident table, there is no U. But in front of our table, you will get always U, which means it is a custom table. Now there is this thing, right, that extends table. So remember, we learned something about parent child table. So within ServiceNow, there is a base table called task table. So we can utilize that table to extend, or any other table for which, like, whose fields or features we want to implement in our table. So let's go ahead as of now with task table, because it is a parent table. A lot of fields are already present on that table. So I'll select task table, and then add module to a menu. If we want to add this particular module, this new module under certain things. So let's say I want to make this this ServiceNow registration should be visible under incident module. Let me show what I am talking about. Yeah. So if you see, if I type incident, right? So under incident module, these are some modules which are present. So if I see create new, assign to me, open, all these are what? These are multiple sub modules within incident module. Okay. So if I want to make that whatever new table I'm creating, that should be visible under some module which is already existing. I can select that module. Okay. So let me put it under incident. Okay. So the moment I put incident, what will happen? It will not show that, like its own menu, because it is going to come here. Let's say I don't want to put this under any menu, and I want to create a new menu of its own. So I will put it, and what I will do, I will put something like new menu name. Okay. So what will happen eventually? A new menu with this, like how we are able to see right now incident. Similarly, there will be a new menu called ServiceNow training, which will be created. But within that module, we'll have to create a couple of more modules so that that module is visible. So I'll hit a save. Right now, I have, if you note, right, I have not created any field in this table, right? Everything is blank. There is no column. There is nothing I have created in this particular field. But I am trying to extend it via task table. Okay. So let me try to save this. And the moment I save this, what happens is automatically there are certain fields which came to this particular table. If you see, right? So there are list of fields which are automatically came. These fields were not created by me. These fields are coming from this table, from this particular task table. Okay. So these all fields are coming from this particular task table. Let me see if my training module is visible here. You see, right? There is something called earlier this ServiceNow registration was not there, but now if I click, there is this module which is visible and it is giving me an option to create record. Right now, I don't have any record. These all fields are by default fields which are present in my, which are coming from my task table, Okay. So these are the default fields. I can try to save this so that what will happen eventually when I click on new, you see earlier there was no record. Now there is one record. Now our job as a developer will be to modify this particular form. Okay. So this is another important thing which we are going to do. So right now what we did, we created altogether a table and a module within ServiceNow for which we are able to see certain things, right? There are certain out of the box fields which we have utilized. But let's say tomorrow my client comes up and they say that, okay, no boss, I want some more fields on this particular table. And I want you guys to update this particular table with some XYZ fields. Okay. So I can see now number is there, assigned to is there, but there is nothing called assignment group. Let's say I want that assignment group field to come on the form. So how do I do it? I'll have to click on this, right click on this particular form header. Okay. I'm clicking on form header and I'll have to click on configure form layout, or you can do it via form design. These are two different options of doing same thing, only interface will be different. So I'll show you. When you click on form design, what will happen? It will take you all together to a complete new type of form layout, wherein you can try to find that field and you can simply drag and drop. So I was wishing whether I wanted to have assignment group field. So I can, if you see, right, so I'm clicking through my mouse and I'm able to drag and drop. So what happened? This particular field came here and I have to hit save button. What will happen? Eventually my form will get saved. So now if I go ahead and reload the same form, earlier assignment group was not there. Now I can see assignment, right? Let's say I want to do it via another method. This is one of the method, that is form design method. I did via this. I want to utilize any other method. So I want to do something like from configure form layout. Okay. So here, let's say I wanted to get some other field called active. Okay, let me see if active field is there. Okay, active is already there. So maybe we can utilize some other field. Let me take this field. Okay. So let's say I wanted to have some another field called task type, which was not present on my form. I want that field to be visible on the form. And that field is already, I know that that field is already there on my task table. So what I'll do through form layout, I can select that field. I'll move that field where I want to place. I want to place adjacent to work notes, short description, where I want to place that particular field. I can move it via this particular arrow and I'll have to hit save button. So, right, if you see, right, there is this field which got created already with task type as ServiceNow registration. Okay. Now, let's say there is some field which is not present on my task table. There may be certain fields which are present. There may be certain fields which are not present on my task table. How do I get that particular field? Or how do I create that field? For that, you will have to click on configure. Again, there are two ways. You can go to directly form design or form layout as well. Let's go via form design first. I want to create, let's say, another field of type string. Okay. I want to create some string type. So I have to select field type. When I say field type, which means that my particular field will accept which type of data. Okay. So let's say I wanted to store number. So I'll select field type as number. If there is a field type which will store name, I will select something called name. If field type is field has to refer to some other table, I will select something called reference. But in my case, let's say, and I wanted to store something called name. So I will put string here. And then these are the different field types which are available within ServiceNow. You can select any one of them. There are multiple of it. You know it directly, you can type it. If you don't know the field types available in ServiceNow, you can just scroll down to select what suits your requirement. Okay, and you can select that particular field. So let's say I wanted to have something called string type of a field. Okay, so I want the string type of a field. What I did, I am simply I'm taking that field, I'm dragging and dropping it on my form. Okay, now if you see this is showing something called new string full FTP, but I don't want to see like this on my form. I have to do certain changes. I want to give some meaningful name. So what I'll do, I'll put something called, I will put whatever name I want to give, like based on customer requirement. I can put it candidate name. So what will happen? It will take that candidate name. Now, if you see, this was auto generated, but this does not. When we are doing actual coding, this will not make sense because we will not understand this is referring to which field. So we can update it. We can update it to some meaningful name like candidate underscore name. So that whenever we are working on some logic implementation, right? We will get to know, okay, this is the exact field name for which we have to write logic. And second important thing with respect to development is ServiceNow always takes the backend name. It will not work on the label. So whenever you are doing the code, right, you will have to make sure that you are not doing it via label. You'll have to check the actual value or the backend value of that particular column or field. So the actual backend value of this particular field is u underscore candidate underscore name. Okay. So what I'll do, this is done. I'll have to put save. And if you see, I'll just reload my form. There is this new field called candidate. I can put something called Devendra here. Okay, I can just put and I can just save this particular field. Okay, so now the data got run field. But if I see this form, the form layout doesn't look like very good. I want to make it more proper because assignment group ideally should not be here. I feel that the form alignment is not proper. Again, what I can do, I can come to form design, or I can go to form layout and rearrange. So simple. What I have to do, let's say I want this particular field not here, but I want it here, and I want candidate name to be here. So I will put candidate name here, assignment group here, and let's say I don't want certain field. I don't want let's say this parent field. I don't want this parent field. What I'll do, I'll simply click on remove field, and that field gets removed, and I'll hit just save button. The changes will get saved for my form. So earlier my form was looking something like this. After changes, if I reload, it looks something like this. Okay. So today we learned how do we basically create these fields. Okay. So let's say you want to understand what type of this particular field is, right? So what you have to do, you have to right click and you have to click on configure dictionary. Configure dictionary will give you details of that particular field. What is the type of the field? What is the size of the field? From which table it is coming? So if you see this particular field, it is coming from which table? It is coming from task table. Okay. What is the type of that particular field? It is like system class name. Okay. The field label is task type. Label means how do we refer? Like what is that field basically will do, or what is the actual any label you can give. Okay. And this is the actual name of that field. Once you put any name of that field, right, you will not be able to edit that. So in that circumstance, let's say you put some dummy name, right, you will have to delete that and you will have to create it. No other. Okay. And what is this type of the field? It is choice field with a drop down. So if I have to showcase you, right, this particular field is a drop down type of a field. If I have to add certain value, I have to come up here and I'll have to add those values. Okay. So like this, you can create multiple fields on the table. Okay. You should be able to create multiple other fields on the table. Like one I have created string field, you should be able to create some reference field. You guys now know like what you have to do. You have to go to form design or form layout. Let me show you with respect to form layout also. Let's say you want to go via form layout and you want to create some field. So directly under form layout, you can, I want whatever, again, it gives you multiple options. I want to do something like true false type of field. Is candidate NRI. So this want to have a checkbox type of a field. I'll click on, I have put that, I have selected the type of the field and I hit add, it gets added here. But I don't want this particular field to be here. I want this field to be visible something maybe under that particular candidate name. So I hit save button. What will happen? That form will get saved and it will be visible. So if you see, right, this is a true false type of a field. Okay, so this is a true false type of a field. Like this, there are multiple other options. There are multiple other types of fields you can create within ServiceNow. Okay, so let's say we wanted to create, we wanted to do something related to, we were able to see, right, there were certain related lists on my form. So if I have to configure any related list on the form, what I'll do, I'll try to go again. I will click on header menu, right click on header menu, configure and related list. The moment I'll click on that, I should be able to pull some related list which are related to my record. Okay, I can select that. So let me show you something related to, let's say SLA. I want to have SLA field for my okay. So I can click on that and I'll hit save button. So you see there is one related list. Like this, I can add multiple related lists for this particular record. So if you see now, my table, like we had incident parent table, incident child table, right? So I can add it. So like this, I'm trying to add related list to my